I'm always surprised when I look at the financial markets and see persistent, low, steady expected volatility in asset prices and in interest rates. Because right now it strikes me that we're sitting on a number of major geopolitical risk in the US and globally. And I want to call attention to what's happened most recently between China and the US, because we had a period of significant instability, a jump in the VIX, I think it was in April earlier this year, around China tariffs. And now we're looking at facing another hiccup of a major sort as we plan to move forward and potentially disrupt the global supply chain once again with China tariffs. The main point I want to make is that the United States needs to clarify the nature of the relationship that it has, not only with China, but with China and the bromance with Russia and the emerging bromance with North Korea and others. 20 years ago or so, we talked about the axis of evil, and we need to get very clear on whether or not there is an axis. Don't know how evil it is, but to the extent that it is aligned fully and aligned without hesitation to go against the US and to defeat the US, then that has implications for foreign policy in a way that we shouldn't be treating these events as individual one-offs, because in that framework, then the Ukraine war may be providing cover for a future invasion of Taiwan. And all of any attempt at signing one contract is just a setup for future instability and catching people off guard. That's what we've seen with the Minsk agreements, 1, 2, and now they mean nothing. It's also important to note that most of the volatility that the US has faced over recent years has been because we have been playing a reaction function basically to what's happened in China. If we look at COVID in 2020, whether or not COVID originated in a wet market or in a lab is secondary to the fact that it originated and it came to the US and it killed someone first in Washington state. And we have to assume that something about how that happened and when it happened was not purely unintentional. I don't know the specifics. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. But what I can say is the US has been on its heels, one, biologically with COVID, two, since then, economically, because of all of the fiscal and monetary stimulus that had to come in the wake of COVID. And that is set up for political chaos everywhere. We see that in the US, we see that in Europe, we see that right now in France. And these are downstream effects, not of a leader, but of a situation that was caused globally by China. And I don't think people are connecting those dots. And now we're looking at more volatility due to surprises in rare earth policies. So I think it's time for us to be less naive. It's time for us to have deeper, broader looking conversations with these other countries to clarify the nature of the relationship, the nature of the intention, the nature of the ambition, and determine if we can be friendly at all or if we really are planning for worst case scenarios. Have a good weekend.